High achievers were never the problem. The system was. I teach top earners how to invest in real estate without banks, no loans, no 20% down, no credit gatekeepers. Because when you control the asset, you control your future. Cheap residents are the most expensive decision you can make in this business. And most of you are choosing them. If you're looking to attract premium residents who pay a premium price, make sure you stay tuned. At the end of this live, I'm going to be giving out something special to everyone who stays to the end. Anyway, let's go ahead and kick this off. If you don't know who I am, my name is Idris Talib, known as the Pretty House Guy, based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I do shared living investing. I do luxury shared living investing, and I also do corporate luxury shared living investing. If you notice, I have a key theme, luxury. You know, that's my space. Now, I do have affordable housing as well. But one of the things that I want to talk with you about tonight is you do not have to only go after at-risk populations. You can make plenty of money with premium populations. And at the end of the day, we are providing the same type of a service, which is affordable housing. Affordable housing, if we really think about it, affordable housing is affordable on different levels. Some people can afford $600 a month. Some people can afford $6,000 a month. Of course, those are wide extremes, but at the same time, it's, hey, Latoya, how you doing? It's still affordable housing. Most people, when we get involved in this business, hey, Jennifer, how you doing? You're able to find the live? Yeah, I'm sorry. I got in real late. So I said, you know, let me just jump on because I've been working on some stuff. I'm going to actually share with you what I've been working on, as a matter of fact. And hopefully it's just going to get your mind turning and let you know that you can actually do this business. You can have fun doing this business and you can serve all types of people because in my portfolio, I have affordable housing all the way up to a couple of luxury mansions. I'm in one right now. This is a $2.9 million house. We have another one around the corner that's 5.6 million. And then the rest are affordable housing to where they will range. So with the mansions, what I do is I do profit sharing with the owners. I don't want to be responsible for $8,000 a month. Okay. Now with the more affordable housing, that's more lower income, those range, I do rental arbitrage. So many of those range, let's see, the cheapest one I have is about $1,675. And it goes to about $2,750. And then I have some in the $3,000 or $4,000 range. Those are more some of my mid-tier properties as well. So my business partner and I, we just got hold of a portfolio of properties. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually 8. So it's actually 4 units in one space, but each of the units are 4-3. That's going to be luxury. Same thing on the other end. So, you know, we were able to negotiate that. But nonetheless, I want to get to what I came here to talk about. And that is, how do you attract these premium type of residents? That's my range here in North Carolina, affordable housing. Latoya, what part of North Carolina are you in? Because that's where I'm from. I was raised in Wilson. Then I went to NC State. I was in Raleigh for 8 years. I lived in Charlotte for 7 before moving here to Atlanta. But yeah, North Carolina is a great area. The thing is, this works anywhere in the country. So it doesn't really matter of where you are. I know, Jennifer, you're down in good old Columbia, Midlands. Oh, you're in Charlotte? Okay, great. Yeah, I'm in Charlotte all the time. My daughters live there. As a matter of fact, I was there last week for her birthday. So Charlotte's a great area. You know, you got Gastonia, you got Kannapolis, you got Concord, you got Huntersville, you got Matthews, you got Mint Hill, you got all the surrounding suburbs and everything. And Charlotte's just growing and constantly expanding out. You know, now I'm gonna tell you an affordable place right in between Raleigh and Charlotte is the Piedmont Triad area near what's that, High Point. You got Burlington, you have Greensboro. You know, you can find some houses there that are very affordable. So it just really depends on the demographic that you're looking on working with. And the thing is, I'm gonna tell you, one of the big differences is how do you market to these individuals? And a lot of it has to do with your wording. And let me show y'all something cool that I actually created today. I just created it. So one of the problems that I've seen is some people, they're in very expensive markets. I was hearing someone today, as a matter of fact, I responded to their post on Facebook. I think it was in Group Homes for Newbies. Shout out Lynette. That's my homegirl. But anyway, she's in Arlington, Texas, and she was talking about how expensive the houses are there. So she was like, what do I do when, the houses are so expensive? You're in Infiltrator Rural Area Surprise. Yeah, you're right, Latoya. So what you do is, if you're in an expensive area, there's only a couple things that you can do to ensure that your house is going to be able to cash flow. Okay. Now, the first thing that you can do, which most people do, they end up putting, two people to a room. Okay. So that's one way to be able to do that. Now, in doing that, I will say this has just been my personal experience. It's not as easy as people make it out to be, because quite frankly, most people do not want to share a room. It's not impossible now, but what I'm saying is it's not as easy as everyone says it is. Okay. I have a different way of kind of looking at the business. So my goal is, when I get started, and this is what I teach my students, okay? Our number one goal when we acquire a house is actually not to maximize profitability. And let me tell you why. The thing is, we want to fill that house up as fast as humanly possible so that house will cash flow and it sustains itself. Okay. Because even if you're not making a killing off that house, if it's net positive cash flow and it's able to sustain itself, then it's not going to put so much pressure and stress on you. I've seen so many individuals acquire houses, and then because that rent is due at the first of the month, they start scrambling and put anybody into that house, and they don't properly screen or vet these people. And now you have the wrong people in your house, and now you're stuck with people. You got to evict them. You got to go through all these changes with them because they refuse to pay. Maybe, they're terrorizing the house. They're breaking all your rules. It could be a hassle. Whereas if your house is cash flowing, even though you may not maximize in profitability, now you have time to where you can develop and nurture these relationships so you're able to bring in those referrals for individuals who may be lower income who do need to share a room. That's a more efficient way of being able to do this business rather than just going out and putting anybody in your house. Hey, Jen, how are you doing this morning? I'm sorry, not this. What? Maybe this. No. It's still 10 o'clock. I don't lost track of time or whatever. All right. Now, the next thing that you can do is you can go after a more profitable type of clientele. So these are going to be individuals who are able to pay more money. The only caveat with that is you have to be mindful of the neighborhood that your house is in. Somebody who's going to pay a premium, they need to be in a pretty nice place. Oh, hey, Michelle, how you doing? They're going to need to be in a pretty nice area or whatever. You can't be in the, hey, Tiffany, all right, I'm showing up tonight. You're not going to be able to have them like in a low income area if you want people who are going to pay more money. Or another thing that you can do is you can find maybe a population. Now, this is going to require maybe somebody who can work for you, maybe someone who has physical challenges, mental challenges, intellectual challenges, and then they may require assistance. Now, it doesn't have to be assistance from you directly, because if it is going to be assistance that you are providing yourself, you might as well go through the licensing process. But what I'm talking about is more so non-licensed type of services, whatever. You can actually have somebody, you can, through their insurance, you can have somebody come in to provide that, type of care. So that might be another way that you can do it. But what we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to talk about how do you attract these premium residents, okay? So let me tell y'all what I did, and I'm actually kind of excited about it. Let me share my screen with you. Share screen. Let's go to ChatGPT. Share screen. All right, no, that's not what I want. All right, so what I did was, let's go to Explore GPTs. So I create these things all the time or whatever. So let's go to my GPTs. And what I did was I created a premium shared living ad writer. Okay. So now the way that you're going to be able to attract these premium type of individuals who can pay what you're looking for, who are willing to pay a premium, it's all about how you market to these individuals. Let me tell you one mistake that I see a lot of people make, okay? One of the mistakes that I see a lot of people make is they have these generic ads, okay? So the generic ad may be fully furnished room available, free washer and dryer, free Wi-Fi, disability, SSI accepted. You know, so with that, you're going to attract the type of individual who is looking for the cheapest option because your ad sounds just like everyone else's. And when your ad sounds just like everyone else's, all these people are doing is they're going on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, calling up every single person, trying to see who has the cheapest rate. That's why when you say your rate, that's why, okay, I'll get back to you. And that's why you're not getting a lot of people. So you have to provide differentiation, especially if you're going after a premium type of a client or whatever. All right. And what I've done right here is I've created this to where it is actually going to write your ads for you. And I want you to kind of read it so you can just get a tone. Okay. So let's put, where's the house located? So here's a prompt. Where's the house located? What type of home is it? Who's your target resident? What are the key features of the house? Okay. I have a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom house in Atlanta, Georgia. And this house is a well, let's just say it's a 2-story house with a full basement with a fireplace, fire pit, swimming pool, fitness area, co-working space. The ideal resident is an affluent professional who seeks a serene environment after a long day at work. When they come home, they want to unwind and relax. This house represents a resort that they are able to live in full time. There are granite countertops and marble floors throughout the house. Everything is premium and luxury. All right, let's just go with that. All right, so this is for Facebook Marketplace. So so check this out. This isn't shared living, it's private resort living with standards. Most people don't realize how much their environment is affecting them until they step into a space where everything feels calm, elevated, and intentional. If you're coming home drained from long work days, dealing with pressure, people, and noise, the last thing you need is more chaos where you live. This home was built for decompression. Imagine walking to a quiet, structured environment, a resort-style backyard with a pool and fire pit, a fully finished basement with a fireplace to unwind, a dedicated fitness area so you don't have to fight crowded gyms, a co-working space designed for focus and productivity. Every detail from marble flooring to granite countertops was chosen to create a space that feels elevated, not shared. What life feels like here: calm when you walk through the door, clean spaces that stay clean, respectful, like-minded professionals, no unpredictability, no tension. This is not accidental. This environment is protected. This is for professionals who work hard and need a true reset at home, individuals who value peace, privacy, and structure, people who take pride in how and where they live. This is not for people looking for the cheapest option. So they're already saying right now, if you're looking at price shop, this is not the place. This is not for partying, high traffic, or unpredictable lifestyles, or anyone who doesn't respect shared standards. We're selected by design because one wrong fit changes everything. If you're looking for a place that actually improves your quality of life, message with a brief intro about yourself, serious inquiries only. I probably wouldn't go to Craigslist to post this ad actually, because maybe I would. Maybe I would test it though. So I can't say that. Maybe I would test it in the beginning. All right, so let's look at this. So Craigslist version is actually more direct. Quiet luxury living for professionals, resort style home. This is not a typical shared house. It's a structured, high-end living environment designed for working professionals who want peace, consistency, and a place to truly unwind. If you're tired of noise, inconsistency, or living around people who don't respect the space, this is going to feel very different. The environment: 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, marble floor, yada, yada. All right. What you can expect: quiet, drama-free environment, quiet, clean shared spaces, respectful screen residents, predictable, low-stress living. Best fit, predictable. So, same thing as the other one. So another one, maybe now, Furnish Finders is very good. That's where you have all your traveling nurses at. But Furnish Finders, you are able to get a high quality clientele. As a matter of fact, we got this one. I think it was an insurance company. They're paying us like $28,000 a month for this one property. All right, executive shared living, resort style for professionals, designed for traveling professionals, remote workers, and executives who need more than just a place to stay. The resident offers calm, structured, and fully furnished environment. So y'all kind of get the idea of what it's saying. All right, let me see if there's any questions at all. Service stacking. Okay. Let me go back to it. All right. So this is a corporate housing version. So basically what this GPT does is it will actually write out your ads for you. And then, so another place where you can market are like Facebook groups for professionals. That's a good one. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is definitely a great place as well. And then these are just some variation hooks that you can use. This is what it feels like to come home and actually relax. If your home doesn't recharge you, it's costing you more than you think. Not a shared house, a controlled resort style environment. And then 2 headlines: private resort for professionals, executive co-living in Atlanta. So I'm really, really, really excited about being able to use this. But let me show y'all something that I actually as a matter of fact, since every single one of you are on this live, I'm just going to give this to you. Just trying to think. Well, you know what? Seems like most of you are on Facebook. Let me see. We're on YouTube. It looks like everybody's on Facebook. I tell you what, send me a message to my DM or whatever, and I'm going to send this out to you, what I'm about to show you right now. So let me find it real fast. Here it is. So check this out. So I created a premium resident playbook, and basically it's going to show you how you attract stable, high quality residents who pay more money, they stay longer, and respect your property. All right. So basically, there's over 100. So I'm going to show you over 100 premium populations that you can target. All right. 10 premium ad frameworks and 4 core rules to follow. All right. So it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. If you market like a cheap rooming house, you attract cheap, unstable tenants. If you position like a premium environment, you attract stable, higher income individuals. So I think it's up here. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? All right. So anyway, when you are attracting a premium population, it's not even really about the house in of itself that you're marketing. What you're marketing to these premium clients, residents, you are marketing a lifestyle. They're buying into a lifestyle. That's why they're willing to pay more money for a lifestyle. Because let's think about, where do they stay at right now? A lot of them stay like in these high-rise condos and apartments. Well, it's beautiful there. They have all these great amenities, but what's the problem? You're in there with 300 other people. You got to wait on the elevator to be able to do anything. You go in the gym, people are all on the equipment. You go to the swimming pool, there's a party going on all night long. What if you can have all of those amenities where you live at? And instead of sharing it with 300, maybe 3 other people. Now, if you really go a little bit more upscale, these are houses with en-suites, okay? And basically, an ensuite means every single bedroom has its own bathroom. Imagine what type of premium you can charge for that, and people will pay it. Do y'all remember that TV show, Living Single? I think it was back in the early 2000s. Yeah, they were doing luxury co-living, if you think about it. All of them were professional women. I think Khadijah, that's Queen Latifah. I think she had her own business. Oh, guess what, y'all? What's her name? What's the lawyer's name? She's always flirting with the guy with the twist. Y'all, I can't think I think her real name may be Erica. Was it Nicole? It's something. Anyway, I saw her today, as a matter of fact. I did. I saw her today at the gathering spot. So nonetheless, and then Kim Fields was up there. And then what's the other lady name? She's a comedian. Can't think of her name. Anyway, is it Kimberly Cole? Kim Coles? I think it is Kim Coles or whatever. I'm in this mastermind. As a matter of fact, she was our MC for our gala that we had, Music Soul Child. It was real nice. But nonetheless, it just shows that there are women who are willing to pay a premium. As a matter of fact, I was at the gathering spot. So that's this co-working space here in Atlanta. And then I was telling this young lady about what I do with some of the mansions, because my initial target was wealthy widows. I got that idea from the Golden Girls. Y'all remember that show, The Golden Girls? But anyway, I got that idea from them. So I was telling her about that, and she said, "You know what? What about wealthy professionals?" She said, myself, I would be interested in something like that. And then you can just think about, you can have events on where you can kind of choose who your housemate is. Maybe you're part of a sorority. Maybe you go to a church. Maybe you have Jack and Jill, whatever your different affiliations are and everything. People of like-minded type people. I have somebody in my accountability group, his cousin, she makes over $1 million a year. She's an OBGYN, and she lives just in this big, huge house all by herself. I think she stays down in Eagles Landing. And she's just lonely. People now, especially after the pandemic, they're looking for companionship. And another thing that you got to think about, imagine all of these techies and stuff. They make all of this money. Some of these engineers are making $300,000-$400,000 a year. Imagine 4 techies living in a place, just that whole mastermind. They're able to go to the co-working space. They're able to sit down and try to, figure out how to solve different problems. Maybe you have some influencers. As a matter of fact, I spoke at an event on Saturday, and one of the people who presented there, what she does is she provides financial literacy for creatives. So these are people who are in music. These are people who are in film, and then athletes. So I'm going to be sharing with them how shared living works, because one of the issues that they have is that when they're working on a project, they're making great money. But what happens if there's a gap between projects? You're bringing in all this money, then you got to pay your lifestyle and everything. But when that project's over with, you don't have no more money coming in. So they need something to be able to kind of, supplement themselves for that or whatever. So this is so many different directions you can go in. But, let's get back to this handout. Matter of fact, I don't even know if y'all can see this handout. If y'all can, I apologize. Let me get back onto my screen. Okay. Were y'all able to see that handout? I'm just assuming y'all can see that handout. Let me make sure y'all can see it. You know what? I know how to find it. I put it in Claude. I made it with Claude. Share another tab. So let's go to share this tab instead. All right, I'm gonna show y'all the handout because I'm not sure if y'all can see it. Premium resident plate. Okay, here it is. All right, why is this upside down? Anyway, this is not supposed to be upside down. I don't know why it's upside down. All right, so I want to show you, and I'm going to give all of you this as well. So everybody who messages me, I'm going to make sure I get this out to you right here. All right. So this talks about the premium resident model. They want peace, structure, predictability, emotional safety, and identity. So basically you're getting into the psychology of how they think and who they are. 4 non-negotiables. You want identity-based marketing. Okay. So with identity-based marketing, this is not talking about your room and it's fully furnished. That's an expectation. That's not anything. There's not anything that's going to impress anyone. Okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you. All right. So identity-based marketing. So you speak to who they are, not what you're renting to them. So premium people buy identity first because they see. Let me give you a great example. It's matter of fact, I had a post that went viral on this. Okay, it's kind of like how sometimes iPhone users can be a little bougie compared to to Androids and everything, right? You know how, or people who have MacBooks, they just feel like MacBooks are way better than PC. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I jumped on that bandwagon also. It's the same thing with people who buy watches. If you buy a Rolex watch, you're not buying a Rolex because it tells time. You're buying it for like status. Now, this ain't no Rolex, y'all. This is a this is an Apple Watch. But anyway, even with an Apple Watch, well, there's a lot of functionality with this or whatever. But Rolex, it just elevates your status. People who drive certain cars, they feel that their status is elevated. Most of us don't drive the cheapest car there is out there. We drive the best car that we can afford. If that's our thing. Same thing with clothes or anything. Y'all get the picture. Another thing is filter built into the ad. Okay. So another thing is when you write your ads and everything, you should have people to where they self-select themselves. Basically meaning is, okay, this is for me, but it's not for them. That's why I said, if you are looking for the cheapest option, this is not for you. You're not looking for people who are just price shopping and everything. Let's see. Platform control. They're talking about stop fishing in low quality ponds. So basically, typically speaking, I would still test it though. You're not going to have the highest quality on Craigslist. Maybe not even on Facebook Marketplace. You may look more so like at apartments.com. You may look at Roomies. You may look at Roomster. You may look at we were just up there. I can't think of all the different platforms, but there's some platforms that just have a what's that other one called? Is it Spare Room? Spare Room is a pretty good one as well. Those are different platforms that just have a higher quality type of clientele. What's this? Yeah, non-negotiable environment stamps. Like I said, you can't have them, just living in, anywhere. So now this is the big thing right here, okay? Because so many of us, I don't know what this thing is doing. I don't know what Claude is doing, but I have it saved anyway. But nonetheless, let's go back down here. Let's look at the types of residents that we're going to be looking for. So right here, category 1, healthcare professionals. Of course, we got the traveling nurses, contract nurses, nurse practitioners, PAs, medical residents, traveling CNAs. So these are people in the medical field, you know. Man, I didn't even know this. Check this out. Where you find them? Furnish Finder, traveling nurse Facebook groups, hospital bulletin boards, LinkedIn. And guess what? You know, because I know some of my students are up here. Guess what, y'all? Y'all get to have access to this. We can create a whole marketing plan around this. All right. So just tap in with me and schedule your appointment. And we'll create a marketing plan for that. Corporate and remote professionals. So a lot of people right now, especially after the pandemic, they don't have to work in the office. You know, they can work at home. Remote tech workers, software engineers, project managers, management consultants, you know, yada, yada, yada. Government and contract workers, military contractors, FEMA, government consultants. So the good thing about contract workers is that when you're able to get corporate to pay for those residents, let me give you an example. My business partner and I, we were leaving an event and I had my car parked at one of my buddy's houses. So we took an Uber over back to my car. So the car that came to pick us up, it was a Tesla. And the guy, we started small talking with the guy in the car. He just graduated from MIT in AI software, something like that or whatever. And he was a test engineer down here in Atlanta because I think Tesla is based out of Austin, Texas. So nonetheless, he was telling us that he lives in corporate housing and they're paying $6,000 a month for him to stay at his place. And we start showing him some of the mansions that we have, say, you know, would you like to stay somewhere? He said, oh, yeah, I would really love that and everything. And that's where it got in my brain. Why don't we do corporate luxury housing for some of these companies? As a matter of fact, he told me that Tesla was sending something like 70 people down here to Atlanta to test drive these cars. So, you know, so those are other opportunities as well. Yeah, education, academia. Yeah, you got adjunct professors, traveling teachers, substitute teachers, university research staff, school administrators. You got medical transition and life rebuild. Medical transition. I don't know why that says it. But anyway, you got relocating executives, professionals in career transition, mid-career pivots, widescreen, travel short-term professionals, airline staff, pilots. So these may be like your crash pads and stuff. And then tech and startup ecosystem. So high income, blue collar. Yeah. That's another good one. Entrepreneurs and business owners, premium niche segments, traveling clergy, nonprofit executives, luxury retail managers. And then oh wow, I didn't even know this. Okay. How to market to them. This is the real game. Stop looking like a landlord. Room for rent, $850 a month. Quiet professional living environment, application required. Okay. Use the right channel for the right segment. LinkedIn's for professionals, Furnish Finds for healthcare travelers, Facebook groups for niche target. Wow, this is pretty good. And yeah, I had all of this built. I'm going to show y'all something real cool right now. I've never done this before, but I'm about to show y'all something real cool. 10 premium ad frameworks. Okay. So these are some frameworks of how you can write these ads as well. Man, you know what? I'm going to sell this thing. I ain't just going to give it away for free. I'm going to let y'all have it for free though. I'm selling this. I'm going to create a whole program from this. Not a rumor reset. This is pretty good. And this is about me. 23 years in real estate. Yeah, I like this a lot. All right, so check this out. Let me show y'all what I'm about to do. This is about to be gangster. Check this out, y'all. All right, so let me go see if any people still up here. Okay, we got a few people up here. All right, so now what I'm about to do right now is, I don't even know if y'all can see me. Let me take it off the share screen. All right, so what I'm about to do right now is I'm going to create a website real fast that is going to be attractive to these individuals who are looking to stay in these premium type spaces right now. All right, so let me share my screen with you. I'm gonna show y'all how easy this is. Let's go to Manus. All right, cool. Upload this file. Yep. All right, check this out, y'all. Here's the prompt. I want you to create me a website with the look and feel of the attached document to attract premium shared living residents. Why's my phone doing that? I'm gonna make it a real simple prompt. So basically, I want you to create me a website with the look and feel of the attached document to attract premium shared living residents. And let it go to work. All right, so it's reviewing everything. Now this may take a couple. Well, I know it's going to take a few minutes or whatever. So let me go back to the chat to see if anyone has any questions. All right. So does anyone have any questions or comments or anything whatsoever about anything? And do y'all see how fast we're able to create stuff now? So one of the things that I always teach, a lot of my students is anything that you have in your head, let's do what needs to be done so we can go out and put it into the marketplace. Because us just speculating and thinking of things or whatever, that's what keeps us stuck. Well, I wonder if this can happen. I wonder if we can do this. No, let's just do it. You have no excuses anymore because everything I'm showing you, I did all this stuff just tonight for free. And I know it's late. I said, let me just jump up here or whatever and then, share it with some people. I created that. I don't even know how I started thinking about it. I think I may have been talking with someone earlier today. Let's see. The same. Okay. I was reading some of this. Let me go and see if I had any questions about anything. The same as when people are more attracted to members only establishment because it's exclusive. Latoya, I like that a lot. I don't know if you're still up here. I like that a lot. That is true. That's very true. So as a matter of fact, I want you to think about it. I never thought about this before. That's a great point, Latoya. It's like being part of a country club, like a city club. So I'm just starting. I'm stuck on special permits needed to get the ball rolling. Yeah, there's ways. You'll just have to figure out. And where you said you're in North Carolina? What part of North Carolina are you in? I think you said outside Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second. Let's take a look. Okay, so our website is still being made. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you. Near Charlotte, all right. What's the specific city and what's the county? Is it Mecklenburg? Is it Gaston? Is it Cabarrus? Because I know some of the largest operators are in Mecklenburg who do this business model. Oh, Iredell County. Okay. That's near Lake Norman. Okay. All right, let me see. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of research, but let's just hypothetically say that it is difficult. You're probably just gonna have to come down to Mecklenburg. That's what I would recommend. Just come down to Mecklenburg because they border right each other. Because Iredale, if I'm not mistaken, that's Lake Norman, right? Cornelius, Lake Norman. I haven't lived there in a while, but I think that yeah, that's up there. I used to live in Highland Creek when I was there. Well, not too far. I think that's the largest neighborhood in all of North Carolina. But anyway, all right. So let me share my screen. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Let's go to share screen. I'm trying to think what we want to use to research this. Let's go to Manus real fast. Let's just see about how our website is doing. All right, so build the website premium. All right, so this is all the coding and stuff or whatever. See, the cool thing, you don't have to do any of this stuff. It's creating the images with Nano Banana. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go over. Do I want to use chat or do I want to use, let's go to Claude. All right, so we're gonna go to Claude. Let's share this tab. All right, so let's do a new search. All right. All right. So it's about to do some research right now. But I was thinking we probably should use Perplexity instead. But let's just see what it comes up with. So this is how I do everything. I try to figure out, like, I don't just take what people, all right. Here's the real talk. Your student's concern is not paranoia. It's a legitimate zoning issue that shows across North Carolina. You dismiss it without real answer, you lose her to inaction. Let's break this down clean. Is a special use permit actually required for shared living in Iredell County? Short answer, it depends. But the concern is valid and you need to take it seriously. Iredell's County Land Development Code distinguishes between uses that are outright permitted, uses that require staff review and special requirements, special uses that go through board. Here's the core problem. Most jurisdictions in North Carolina, Iredell included, don't have a formal category called shared living or co-living. So your arrangement gets lumped into the closest existing category, which is boarding house or rooming house. In Raleigh, for example, the closest defined use of co-living is boarding house. Defined facility, individual rooms rented for unrelated for periods excess 30 days. At city, boarding house use classified as special use. Zoning means requires individual review by the board of adjustment. Iredell follows a similar logic. If students renting individual rooms to multiple unrelated people in similar agreements, the county can easily classify it as a boarding room house. Trigger, okay. House is special use permit. Special use requires staff review and recommendation followed by board of adjustment approved compliance. The general process looks like submit a written application, provide a site plan, pay the application fee, attend a public hearing, meet findings of fact, meaning you have to prove that you won't negatively impact the surrounding area, accept the conditions. This can take 30 to 90 days. It's not guaranteed. Neighbors can show up and object. The board has real discretion. The strategic play, how to work around or minimize this obstacle. This is where you earn your coaching fee. There are legitimate strengths. Structure the lease to avoid boarding house classification. This is the most widely and used workaround. Instead of signing individual room leases with each resident, structure as a master lease agreement where all residents sign as co-tenants on a single lease. The property is treated as a single-family residential dwelling occupied by multiple co-tenants. You're not operating a boarding house. You're leasing a house to a group of individuals collectively. The legal distinction matters. Unrelated people can and do live together in a single-family homes legally without special use permit. The trigger for the permit is operating as a commercial rooming operation with individual separate contracts per room. This is the roommate house model versus the boarding house model. Know the difference and document it correctly. Strategy 2, verify the specific zoning district first. In Iredell County, the properties in Statesville, Troutman, and Morrisville zoning jurisdiction, you get permits from your respective town's planning and zoning department, not the county. This is critical. The rules are different depending on where the property sits. Unincorporated Iredell County, inside Statesville, Morrisville, Troutman city limits, okay? Some zoning districts may allow rooming house shared living use by right or with simple zoning permit. No board of adjustment here needed. She needs to know exact. Strategy 3, apply for the permit if required. If the use generally requires special permit, don't run from it. Not added. Here's why. The zoning administrator holds authority to deny revoke zoning on getting the permit. Legitimized operation creates a competitive moat, protects the student from enforcement action later, builds credibility of property owners and future landlords. Target the right property types. Midterms match be cleaner to operate in the short term. The bottom line, stop treating this like it's a dead end. Here's our action plan. So, okay. So that's that. If you want to, I'll send this to you. Let's go check on our website. Build the real. Look like it's still building right now. Yeah, it's still building. Browser has lost connection. Okay. All right, let me okay. Let me look. Okay. So you near Lake Norman. Yeah. Yeah. What would I do? I'd probably go into Mecklenburg County. I'm not about to deal with all that stuff. Or if I'm really bent on doing it there, I'll just get me an attorney. God, there's a real good real estate attorney in Charlotte. He's very expensive, but he's really good. Very creative as well. Every investor uses him in Charlotte. This old white man. I can't think of his name though, but I can get his name. But yeah, I would let's see. Let me message you real fast. I'll give you a copy of that. Let me go to Facebook real fast. Minimize this. I'm not sure if we're connected. Oh, okay, here you go. All right. Okay, I just sent it to you. Okay, it's on the screen. All right. Any other? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're welcome. So let's check on the website real fast. Gone. I don't know why it's taking so long. Well, you know what? I do know why it's taking so long. It's because I'm on. Oh shoot! All right, let me share my screen with y'all. I know exactly why it's taking so long. It's because I'm streaming. Share screen. Share screen. That's why it's taking so long. Let's go to Manus. All right, so suggested follow. Oh, task complete. All right, let's take a look at this. I can't even see it. Add a contact form, incorporate a new section, replace the. All right, let's see what this thing looks like. Hold on, I can't. Hold on. I don't want to see the code. No, it's not what we're looking for. All right, here's this. Okay, this is what we want to see. All right, so this is Let's see. How to make this full screen? All right, here's how it looks. All right, so this is how the website looks right here. And of course, I can edit. I can edit this if I want to, but premium resident playbook, I'll probably take playbook off because it's supposed to be a website. The truth, the model, the rules, segments, ad frameworks, about. Let's say this, how to. Oh, I can. Y'all get the change up because it takes too long, but nonetheless, look how nice this looks, though. The truth they won't tell you. This looks pretty nice. Why you keep attracting the wrong people? The premium. Y'all, look at this. Look how nice that looks. That looks premium. Look how nice that looks. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I want you to imagine yourself if you're able to see pictures like this. Just look at how attractive that would be. An environment, control business, value peace, structure, predictability, emotional safety, identity. And this is just basically the same thing that was on the handout that I created. Man, this is awesome. How to market to them. Look at that kitchen, y'all. Oh, hold on. Yeah. I don't know why you got a dining room table next to the island, but that's still nice, though. Premium ad frameworks. That's how you write the ad up. I don't know why they got this people instead of me in here, but it's all good. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then let's see. This is how it looks mobile. So this is how it would look on a cell phone. That's nice. I like those pictures. As a matter of fact, you can actually use this tool to create nice pictures like this also. Because when you write up your ads or whatever, people are going to be attracted to things visually anyway. So that's one of the things that you want to have as well. All right, cool. All right, so I'm tear up my stage. All right, anyway. So that's pretty much everything that I have for tonight. So one of the things is, if you want to kind of dig deeper, I do have a school group. I'm thinking how to send that, post a comment. All right, give me a second. I can find it. All right. Oh, here we go. Let's go to about page. Copy. All right. Let me just send that. Y'all can click on that or whatever. Oh no, I sent that to YouTube. I didn't mean to send on YouTube. Anyway, just send me a message, and then what I can do is, for some reason, I can't share it on Facebook, but I could YouTube. Just send me a message, and then I'll make sure you get it. That's all you have to do. But nonetheless, just thank y'all for taking y'all time out this evening. And then if y'all have any questions about anything, if any of you watching a replay, you have any questions or any comments, feel free to put them down below, and then I'll make sure I respond to all of them. All right, y'all have a good evening. High achievers were never the problem. The system was. I teach top earners how to invest in real estate without banks, no loans, no 20% down, no credit gatekeepers. Because when you control the asset, you control your future.